My girlfriend's confession muddled our relationship. Hi there, welcome to Reddit Goat channel. Today we are going to have another unbelievable cheating story. But before we get started, please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so that you won't miss any of our daily cheating stories. I, 24/M, have been going out with my girlfriend, 22/F, for just over 3 years. We do not live together. We were both living at our parents' houses while attending university, but I recently graduated and now have my own place with a roommate. She still lives with her mom, but we have had a few discussions about moving in together. I work full-time at an office job and she is in class with a part-time restaurant job on the side. She started this job at the beginning of November and was hired by one of her friends. She told me it was annoying that several of the male staff members constantly flirted with her and made inappropriate jokes despite her being in a relationship. This includes the restaurant's bartender, 31/M. In late November, only a couple weeks after she started, the staff had their annual Christmas party at the restaurant. It was on a Monday night since the restaurant is closed Tuesday mornings. Later that week, my girlfriend was also supposed to be house-sitting/dog sitting for a friend. She had to go feed the dog every day and was allowed to stay overnight if she wanted, starting Tuesday. We were talking about how we both thought it was hot to have sex in someone else's house, and planned to have a few wild nights when we got the chance. I stayed home the night of the party. I was told it was staff only, no significant others, and I had work in the morning, so I had no problem staying in. I dropped my girlfriend off and I was texting her throughout the night. At around 11 I told her I was going to sleep and said goodnight. I was still up another hour or so, but based on her text she was quite drunk and it was frustrating having a regular conversation, so I didn't want to text anymore. I sent her a message the next morning and didn't hear back until around 2 p.m., when she informed me she was extremely hungover and slept half the day. Even though her mom's house was just around the corner from the restaurant, she said she instead decided to go to the dog-sitting house, a day early, since it was on the way to the bar that some people headed to after the party. Apparently the homeowners left earlier Monday night. We hung out later that night and she showed me photos of the party. I saw most people bring their significant others, and I was kind of insulted. I confronted her about it and she said she didn't think we were supposed to be invited and that I shouldn't have cared since I had work the next day anyways. We had a minor disagreement but nothing serious. The next couple days were normal, we were happy, and Thursday night I suggested we go over to the dog-sitting house together. She started acting weird and said she didn't want to do that anymore, but we could hang out at my place. We did, watched some TV, and I tried to initiate sex. She refused and said I was being too pushy and went home. I didn't think I did anything wrong and I was frustrated on my part. The next 2 weeks or so were more of the same. No sex, which led to frustration and silly arguments over little things. She started exams in mid/late December and stress was through the roof. Finally, after she finished exams we went out to a party, went home together and had sex. It had been probably 3 weeks, and previously we were having sex 5 times a week. Over the Christmas break we resumed having lots of sex, but things still didn't feel right. There were lots of arguments. We both returned to work/school and it seemed like every day there was some new disagreement. And now today. We were fighting about something stupid, whether or not her friend calling me Garfield should be insulting, and trying to resolve it. I made an offhand comment about how these little fights shouldn't bother me so much, it's not like she cheated on me. And then she broke down. She started sobbing and saying that she made a huge mistake at the Christmas party. She said she couldn't bear to tell me and wanted to kill herself. After the crying stopped, I made her tell me what happened. I was pretty pissed off and yelling because she basically told me she cheated on me a month and a half ago and tried to hide it. This is her side. A lot of it is pieced together from her messages and what her coworkers told her, since she has no little memory of the night. The party was open bar, and she and her friend were hanging out at a bar most of the night. The bartender was another employee who had volunteered to take the night off from drinking to serve everyone else. Partway through the night, he started giving her drinks that she wasn't even asking for. She was having a good time and accepted them. Eventually she got blackout drunk, still pretty early in the night too. She doesn't remember me texting her goodnight, which was only around 11 p.m. At midnight, she texted the dog-sitting people asking if she could go over that night. There was no answer of course, since they were on an international flight somewhere. Everyone kept drinking until about 12:30 a.m. Around 1 a.m., the bartender drove a group of people from the party to a bar. He returned to the party to drive the last carload of people to the bar. Everyone else had made their way home by this point. He dropped everyone at the bar except my girlfriend. He told the others he would drive her home, but together they then went back to the dog-sitting house. I don't know the exact details of what happened next. But around 3 a.m., she sent a photo to their work group chat. It includes her, a bartender, and the dog in a bed. You could only see from their shoulders up, but they were obviously shirtless. She included a message that said, "I hope everyone is having a good time. I know we are." She insists she has zero recollection of this happening. She woke up Tuesday lunchtime and was surprised she wasn't in her own bed. The bartender wasn't there when she got up and there was no sign of him. She said she assumed she must have decided to go out to the bar after, which is why she asked to stay at the dog-sitting house instead of her own. Apparently she didn't find out what happened until Thursday when she was talking to her friend. She was shown the picture she sent, which was since buried in the group chat. She still insists she has no memory of anything, and freaked out and didn't know what to do. That's why she refused to go to that house with me and why things suddenly got so weird between us. She says she wanted to deny to herself that it happened and didn't want to tell me. After finding out the truth today, there has been lots of yelling and crying, and I'm currently home by myself. First of all, I do believe she was taken advantage of. She was blackout drunk and the bartender was sober and significantly older. Her coworkers all confirmed that the bartender told everyone he was dropping her at home, and also that he was feeding her free drinks all night. I also believe she didn't remember it happening at first, because there was a definite mood change on Thursday, which lines up with when she said she found out. However, I can't help but feel like she was willing even if she was drunk. I'm hurt and it feels like I was cheated on. It's not like the bartender took her home against her will and assaulted her. She figured out the logistics of finding a place to go with him and looked extremely happy in the photo. Why it still feels like cheating? Firstly, because I was told I wasn't invited to the party when everyone else brought their sos. Secondly, she had access to the dog-sitting house a day earlier than I thought. Thirdly, she had brought the key to the dog-sitting house to her work party, even though it was right next to her mom's house. Fourthly, the bartender is a guy who had openly flirted with her for weeks. Lastly, she didn't tell me what happened for over a month, and had planned on hiding it forever. In anger, I told her that if this wasn't cheating, then she must have been sexually assaulted. And that if we don't press charges, then at the very least we need to ensure the bartender loses his job. She cried again and refused to do either. Since she can't remember the night, she isn't willing to report him for anything and can't confirm she didn't want it. What do you guys think? I'm an emotional mess right now and struggling to be logical. Do I need to put emotion behind me and support her as a victim? Or is she a cheater? Things were great before this and I had hoped to spend my life with this girl. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for any future cheating stories.